We have a very unique game expansion here for the Funkoverse to unbox. This is Lock, Shock, and Barrel. This is the second pack of the Nightmare Before Christmas packs, making it the 101 pack. This is a single pack game expansion, and here we get Lock, Shock, and Barrel stacked together as a single character, or they come apart and now they are companions. So we have Barrel here. He has a peg on his feet. This is the first time that we've seen miniatures for companions in the Funkoverse, which is very exciting. Typically we would get cardboard tokens for these guys. We have Lock here with his slingshot, and of course his fingers behind his back because he is up to no good. Also the peg on his feet. It almost looks like his mask should be able to come off, but it does not come off, so I would not try to force that off. Shock here. Shock also has the slingshot, peg on her feet. You know, these are much smaller than the typical size Funkoverse characters that we see, but still a lot of detail on these little miniatures here. This is the new base stands that are getting introduced with these three miniatures. So we'll put Barrel into one of these. This little peg is just meant to slide right into the center here. We actually get 4 base stand colors like this for this pack, and I believe these 4 different colors that come with this are the same colors that you would get in the Nightmare Before Christmas 100 pack, so that you could play some 4-player games. We have some additional game components here, including 6 additional point tokens, purple. We can stack these 3 on top of each other, and they turn into a character when configured in this way. So I'll go ahead and put these off to the side for now, and we'll get into their cards. So we have a Barrel companion card here. Barrel can move 2. He also has Prank, which is a challenge 3, and his trait is Little Skellington. When an ally challenges a rival adjacent to Barrel, increase that challenge by 1. We also have a Lock companion card. Lock can move 2. He has Scheme, which is do an interact action. Now, most scenarios that you're going to play in the Funkoverse, they're going to be very clear about characters only being able to interact with scenario objectives. So most of the time, these companions are only going to be able to interact with point markers, so something to keep in mind here. Primarily, you'll probably only be using Scheme to interact with point markers. But Little Devil is his trait. When Lock's attached character does a use attachment companion action, Lock may do 2 actions instead of 1. So characters who have a companion attached to them can actually forfeit one of their character actions to give to one of their companions, and when that happens with Lock will actually get to do 2 actions instead of 1, and could actually potentially do 5 actions in 1 turn, and definitely maybe even in the first round get a bunch of point markers. So something to look out for with Lock. Shock can do a move 4, has Slingshot, which is a range 3, challenge 3. Only costs 1 blue ability token, and her trait is Little Witch. Shock's attached character cannot do the use attachment companion action. So this means that characters that are attached to Shock are not going to be able to forfeit any of their character actions to give to Shock, meaning that she will only be able to ever do the move 4 or the slingshot ability action on her character's turn, or whenever she does that whenever that companion action is taken, that one companion action that they get for free. We also have these three together. They have their own character card, Lock, Shock, and Barrel. The first ability we have here is Blow Him Up to Smithereens, which is a challenge 1. Increase this challenge by 1 for each figure on this base. Tie Him in a Bag, move 1, give an adjacent rival the bagged status card. Trick or Treat, move 1, increase this move by 1 for each figure that has been removed from this base. Do an interact action. And Wear His Secret Henchman. When Lock, Shock, and Barrel would be knocked down, instead remove the top figure from their stack. When the last figure would be removed, they are knocked out. And this bagged status card here says that, so whenever this is given out to a character with that time in a bag ability, that character cannot move. At the start of this character's turn, you may place an ability token on the 4 of the cooldown track to discard the status card. So unless that character has some other way of getting around the map without using move actions, they are going to be stuck until they spend that that ability token, and that's going to have to get placed on the 4 of the cooldown track. We have some additional instructions here to kind of help with this expansion. So the first part we have here is about stacking a character, or stacking character. When Lock, Shock, and Barrel are played as a character, stack all 3 figures onto one base at the beginning of the game. If they would be knocked down, instead remove the top character from the stack and place them near their character card. When the last figure would be removed, they are considered knocked out and placed on the 1 of your cooldown track. When they would return to play, they return with all 3 characters stacked on the base. Attachments. In Funkoverse, there are various additions you can attach to a character. These additions are called attachments and come in the form of items, bonus objectives, and companions. Each team must have the same number of attachments in order to play with attachments, and each character can only have 1 attachment. Even though the figures in this set can't hold items in their hands, they may still be given an attachment at the start of the game. Companion setup. When playing with a companion, the companion is always paired with a character on your team. Attach the companion to a character by placing the companion card below the character card at the beginning of the game, and whenever a companion shifts off the cooldown track, place the companion in your starting area. Companion rules. Companions follow the same rules for adjacency, movement, blocking line of sight, and what they can see as characters. When a companion is challenged and loses, remove them from the board and place them on the 1 of their owner's cooldown track. Players do not gain points from challenging companions. For the purpose of gaining points, when a companion knocks out a rival, credit the knockout to the character the companion is attached to. Companion action. When a character with an attached companion takes their turn, the attached companion may also do one of the actions listed on the companion card. They may do this before, between, or after the attached character's 2 actions. Doing the use attachment companion action. Additionally, a character with an attached companion may do a use attachment companion action on their turn to allow their companion to do an additional action selected from the actions listed on that companion's card. Use attachment companion actions may be done while the character is knocked down and even while the character is on the cooldown track. Tips and strategies for Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Lock, Shock, and Barrel can be played in 2 different ways, as a character or as 3 separate companions. Stack the figures onto one base as a character, or choose which figures you'd like to play as companions and put them onto their own bases. Lock, Shock, and Barrel can have good movement and large challenges. Pair them with other characters that can challenge at range or that can help protect them. Lock's little devil trait doubles any action he gets from his attached character, but not his free companion action. Take advantage of his extra actions to move fast and interact. Since she can't get actions from her attached character, Shock can only do her free companion action each turn. Move her into position and use her range challenge as much as you can. Pair this set with the Nightmare Before Christmas Funkoverse 100 set for a game of Funkoverse with up to 4 players and 4 companions using the Nightmare Before Christmas characters.